At Denny's, it's diner time. Hours of participating restaurants may vary, subject to availability.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. Ho, ho, hold on a minute. Little early, huh? But not too early to get your engine ready for colder weather. Start treating now with Howe's Diesel Treat, so you're ready when those temps plummet. You see, using Diesel Treat at every fill-up will not only prevent gelling, but will add power and performance while keeping your fuel system clean and free of water. Learn more at howesproducts.com.
Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
Another weekend of traffic backups on I-75. I'm Whitney Harris, breaking now. Hopefully this will do it for the I-75 repair at Norwood Lateral, as repairs began at 10 p.m. Friday night on the expressway, with crews working through early Monday morning.
It's going to be a weekend-long repair project on the highway that gets underway at 10 o'clock.
This is something that we need to do to fix the dip in the roadway. It's been something that a lot of people who are familiar with it, who drive this stretch of I-75, they know fully well what we're talking about.
Kathleen Fuller with ODOT says there is a chance they'll get that dip fixed by 3 a.m. Monday morning. If they don't, however, a third closure of I-75 will have to be scheduled. I'm Rick Ucino, News Radio 700 WLW.
Now the forecast from our friends at Channel 9.
Now the latest forecast from the Train Heating and Cooling Weather Center on News Radio 700 WLW.
And the tri-state weather heading to Saturday morning, clear and a morning low of 52. Now our Saturday is going to be sunny, mild, and a high of 79. At night, fair skies, and we drop to 60. Now Sunday's partly cloudy, windy, a slight chance of a shower, and a high of 78. From your severe weather station, I'm 9 First Warning Chief Meteorologist Steve Raleigh. News Radio 700 WLW.
News is a service of Progressive Insurance. Authorities are investigating after a small plane went down in Kentucky on Friday. Sound from Broadcastify at the time of the crash.
Attention all units on channel. St. Matthews is responding to a plane crash at Breckenridge and Cresty. Small plane crash. 2 persons on board. One's unconscious, one's possibly still trapped.
According to St. Matthews Police Chief Barry Wilkerson, at approximately 6:30 p.m., a pilot and a student pilot were in a small aircraft when they lost power, causing them to lose control of the plane as they were on approach to land at Bowman Field. Hitting a vehicle on Breckenridge Lane, the plane, said to be a Piper PA-28 in a statement from Bowman Field, had only 2 people aboard, and the car had 2 people inside as well. Matthews said all 4 were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Hamilton County sheriffs are seeking help in finding suspects in a Mount Healthy homicide where a man was shot and killed at a gas station. He was reportedly an innocent victim, according to detectives, and 2 weeks later, they're still searching for suspects. The name of the victim is Reginald Simpson. He was shot to death while sitting in his car at the gas station on Hamilton Avenue near Cross County Highway. Now that Reggie Harris has resigned from Cincinnati City Council to take a job with the Biden administration, his replacement has been named. Cheviot Democrat Evan Nolan, chosen by Councilmember Mika Owens to serve the rest of Harris's term. In national news and on the campaign trail, Donald Trump says gang members are ruining the state of Colorado.
What the hell is happening with our country? What are they doing? What are they doing to Colorado? They're ruining your state. They're ruining your state.
Trump in Aurora, Colorado Friday talked about fears that a Venezuelan gang is making the area dangerous. Trump put out mugshots of 2 alleged gang members on stage. He blamed the Biden-Harris administration for allegedly allowing the immigrants into the United States. In sports, the Bengals will see action on the road this weekend. 1-4 Cincinnati will take on the 2-3 New York Giants. Kickoff at MetLife Stadium happens Sunday night at 8:20 p.m. I'm Whitney Harris. Get breaking news anytime. News Radio 700 WLW.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, tells us about the advantages the speed of audio production affords their growing tech company.
At Moderna, we have a mindset saying that we pivot fearlessly. And I think with audio, you can pivot fearlessly. You can go where the news is and bringing in content that perhaps you didn't have a few weeks earlier. It's less 6 months in advance or 3 months in advance when you do a TVC. You're able to create really nimble content, which I think in this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Home values in Cincinnati are sky high and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked, so you're thinking about selling. It's time, except for 2 things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial investors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while the value is high, but you stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Sounds smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure retirement, whatever you want. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
700 WLW.
Now, it's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
Hello and welcome. He is Gary McNamara. I'm Eric Harley as we move into a Tuesday. Gary, how are you?
Just make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop. All right, here we go. This is the 60-minute special edition last night.
Let me tell you what your critics and the columnists say.
Okay.
They say that the reason so many voters don't know you is that you have changed your position on so many things. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You supported looser immigration policies, now you're tightening them up. You were for Medicare for all, now you're not. So many that people don't truly know what you believe or what you stand for. And I know you've heard that.
In the last 4 years, I have been Vice President of the United States. And I have been traveling our country. And I have been listening to folks and seeking what is possible in terms of common ground. I believe in building consensus. We are a diverse people, geographically, regionally, in terms of where we are in our backgrounds. And what the American people do want is that we have leaders who can build consensus, where we can figure out compromise and understand it's not a bad thing, as long as you don't compromise your values, to find common sense solutions. And that has been my approach.
Has it? Has it really?
Wow. Wow.
Has it really?
Oh, my God. Just so. Make it stop.
She's you said it right before we went on. That was the extent of our pre-show meeting. She just really is not good in any setting.
Yeah, she isn't.
She's not good in any serious interview setting. She's not good in any showbiz interview setting because she tries to be funny and she tells weird jokes. And in a serious setting, she does a word salad and does a non-answer over and over again. Traveling the country trying to build consensus. What do you believe?
And why?
What do you stand for? Trying to build. You know what she sounds like? Beto. I'm going to listen to the people. I'm going to listen to the people. What I'm going to do is listen to the people. Well, the people say they don't want you in office. Thanks, but no thanks. No, this is exactly what you get. And this is what the left already knows. This is what the activist leftist media already knows. They know this about her. This isn't a secret. She said it. She started out with it. She's been vice president for 4 years.
Let's play another cut here, all right? Here we go.
All right.
My plan is about saying that when you invest in small businesses, you invest in the middle class, and you strengthen America's economy. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes. It is not right that teachers and nurses and firefighters are paying a higher tax rate than billionaires and the biggest corporations.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's an absolute
That's
lie.
a lie.
But you know what they did, and this is a lie that's been going on for such a long time. What they're saying is you don't pay the same capital gains as you do income tax.
Right.
Well, that's like saying, well, you don't pay the same in property tax as you do sales tax.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You're talking about two different type of taxes, and if you have capital gains, if you have capital gains, you're going to pay the same amount for whatever level you're at as anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's an absolute lie.
And if you're earning more, you're in a higher bracket.
Right.
You're paying a higher rate.
Right. It's just ridiculous.
But she's trying to use the old lie. That's a 2008 lie.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
That's a 2008 lie. By the way, it's a 2008 lie that came from Warren Buffett, who knows better. Out of all the people in the world, knows better.
Yeah, but who was it? Was it Obama that was asked in the primary debate by one of the anchors of ABC?
Yeah,
about
Charlie Gibson.
Charlie Gibson about capital gains tax.
When you raise the tax revenue, this is basically the premise of the question, close to verbatim. Mr. Obama, you want to raise the capital gains tax. But history tells us when we raise the capital gains tax, revenue actually goes down. And his answer was, we're going to do it anyway out of a sense of fairness. In other words, we want people to feel like we're being fair. We're not actually being fair. We don't know what fair means. Nobody can define fair. I'll tell you who defines fair. Any parties involved in any exchange or negotiation, and only those parties. That's who decides what's fair. The government doesn't get to tell me what they believe is fair. No. Fair is one of these political words that comes up far too often. Fair share. Those of us that pay their fair share, we need to pay our fair share. And that lie that's been going on for a long time, and it is a lie because they know exactly what they're doing.
The interesting thing is fair. Isn't it funny that the one of the biggest points of morality that the left brings up is the concept of fair share that nobody has yet defined and they will not define.
Right.
And so when that happens, you have Others say, well, wait a minute. The top 1% of wage earners, pay, it's usually between 38 and 43% of all federal taxes.
Right.
The bottom 50% of wage earners pay nothing.
Right. Then you add in the states that have a state income tax. I know she's not in charge of that, and she's talking federal tax, and you were talking federal tax, but I mean, they get to a point in California, the highest earners, 52.3%? That's more than half. That's actually more than half.
That's why I laugh.
That joke.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I laugh.
The one time I'm serious, it's still funny.
It's like somebody out there going, "Why's Gary laughing? Why do you start laughing?" Because you were actually correct that time.
Because when Gary's doing a story, a survey, nearly 40%. Wow, that's more than half.
But that moment from Obama was so telling because it really, really, in a nutshell, describes liberalism.
Yeah.
That Charlie Gibson was making the point, and Obama agreed that if you raise the capital gains tax, you get less income.
And Charlie
which
Gibson
means
had
you have
to approach it twice in order for him to finally agree to it and acknowledge that he knew the difference.
Which means that it wasn't important to a liberal that you actually have more revenue in government to do the things that you wish to do, which you believe are moral and right.
Mm-hmm.
It's more important to put out the imagery that you're punishing someone and you have less available cash to do what you wish to do to make society better.
Yep.
That's liberalism perfectly.
Yep.
And the fact is, Obama was never called on that by anyone.
Nope.
No one ever called him on
No,
it.
Charlie Gibson was the only one on that, that night that happened, and there was no fact-checking by other liberal activists and media at the time.
But she is so poor. I can't wait to find out what happened. The whole thing, the NBC story that Harris called DeSantis.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't answer her call.
He didn't answer her call, and it's a selfishness of him not caring about the people of Florida. DeSantis like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Nobody called me.
Right.
And nobody in my office, said that. We have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. Well,
and by the way, the hit jobs now expected on CNN, they were going crazy. I mean, trying to explain why Trump is Hitler and the apocalypse and the Holocaust is coming back again.
It's all they got.
It's going to continue to ramp up over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
as it looks like the polls again continue to move in Trump's direction. I think it was Mark Mitchell yesterday from Rasmussen. He was just saying, you notice they haven't done a poll in the last 3 days. Nobody's done a 3-day poll in the last few days except us. And I think it was him and Atlas, I think it was, or Inside Advantage, which I think is Atlas Intel. I forgot now. But it's like, and the two polls that have been out the last couple of days show Trump up 2 points and 3 points. He said, you notice they're putting out their polls. They're not publishing polls right now.
Yeah.
Where normally you'd see a bunch of them every single day. And this is really interesting because you both have the guy who runs Trafalgar. Is it Haley? And also Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen, and they're just absolutely pounding. They've been doing it for a while. Mark Mitchell's been doing it for a few months, just sitting there going, these polls are not legit. I mean, they're not holding back anymore.
He's doing a weekly update. Maybe he's ramped that up even more, but he was doing a weekly update on YouTube, basically breaking down the data they have and talking about the other pollsters and explaining it all. It's there.
Yeah.
It's available.
Yeah, and they're not fighting back.
No.
You don't hear them coming back. I haven't, because you would expect that the pollsters, just to maintain credibility, would say, Mitchell is wrong, this is ridiculous, or put out a statement, and then the left would just jump on it and pound on it, and you don't see that happening.
Which tells you they don't care about being accurate.
Well, we'll see.
Because if they did, they would care about it. And if somebody were attacking their integrity or their process, their methodology, they'd come back after them.
But she just can't do an interview, can she?
She can't.
She just can't.
It's horrible.
Can't do one.
It's just horrible. But, Madam Vice President, that wasn't the question. I mean, how are you going to pay for it? And I was careful to phrase it that way.
Yeah. Or you flip-flopped on all these issues. That's why people don't know where you stand.
Yeah.
Well, I've traveled the
country.
I've traveled the country
and
talked to people. That wasn't the question. And we know that.
As a former child of a middle-class family. By the way, she slipped up on that one, right? How are you going to pay for it? Well, she included herself and the wealthy. You know, I come from a middle-class family. Which is it? Trying to connect to the middle class or the elitists?
We've got a great show ahead. 866-90 Red Eye.
This report is brought to you by Shell Rotella. With advanced synthetic technology, is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance. As the seasons change, so does truck maintenance. Cold weather can affect everything from your batteries and air brake system to tire inflation and fuel lines. Here's a maintenance tip to help make sure your rig is ready when winter comes knocking. When water and moisture build in your air brake system in the dead of winter, it will almost certainly freeze and turn to ice, which can damage valves, air dryers, and other air system components. Be sure to inspect your system for any air leaks and to confirm the system is receiving a clear air supply. Check and drain your air tanks daily to keep water, contaminants, and corrosion at bay. Find a professional service center near you to learn more about winterizing your truck or to have your air brake system inspected today.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
Shell Rotella with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
These days, it might seem hard to find a job with a future, where people are valued and appreciated. But at Chick-fil-A Supply, we don't just offer jobs. We offer purpose-driven careers. As part of Chick-fil-A's distribution network, we ensure the ingredients that make the foods customers love are reliably delivered to Chick-fil-A restaurants. If you're interested in a role in transportation, warehouse, or front office, we're interested in you. To learn more, visit cfa-supply.com.
The St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund provides free health and wellness programs for drivers to help prevent some common medical conditions seen in the industry. These programs include diabetes prevention, Rigs Without Cigs, a tobacco cessation program, Healthy Habits for the Long Haul, a 12-week total body wellness program, a vaccine voucher program that includes free flu, shingles, and pneumonia vaccines, and GPS, Get Preventative Screenings, which includes free at-home cancer screening tests. These programs are available to Class A over-the-road truck drivers. For more information or to sign up for a program, go to the St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund website at truckersfund.org. These programs are made possible by Southern Recipe, Call on Doc, Road Pro Family of Brands, OOIDA, and Grinds. Again, you can go to truckersfund.org for more.
As an owner-operator, you have unique needs to ensure you can run a profitable business, deliver on time, and still have time at home with the family. The experts at Fleet Owner bring their expertise to you each week with the For the Driver newsletter, arriving in your inbox every Wednesday morning. This free newsletter will help you stay on point with all of your goals, understand upcoming regulations, and be on the forefront of breaking trucking news. Sign up today at fleetowner.com.
700 WLW.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Progressive Commercial presents Heroes that Keep Truckers Going. Today's hero,
the construction guy who let you pass before laying out the cones to cut off traffic. Yes, he was happy to block the sports car behind you, but he's still a hero. What else can keep safe truckers going? Saving an average of $4,370 with Progressive when they share their ELD data. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Save customers based on FMCSA inspections, driving history, and other data for hire transportation. Not available in all states.
Deep in the back of your mind, you've always had the feeling that there's something strange about reality. There is. Stuff to Blow Your Mind, an iHeart podcast that dives deep into the mysteries of the universe. With more than 2,500 episodes ready to listen, Stuff to Blow Your Mind will guide you through the strange, the bizarre, and the mind-blowing. Listen to Stuff to Blow Your Mind on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff to Blow Your Mind to start listening.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Coffee Shop Radio. It's true, my bad habits lead to you. Acoustic rock and the greatest singer-songwriters of the 90s to now. All night, come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. And Coffee Shop Radio goes commercial-free every weekend. That was when I ruled the world. Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Coffee Shop Radio, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
700 WLW.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Carly, and I'm Gary McNamara. Just so people know, we're not throwing BS by them because we don't wish to BS. Let's go back to 2012. All right, and that moment where Obama and Charlie Gibson were talking about the whole capital gains tax, and this comes from Kamala Harris and her discussion on how she would raise all of her funds yesterday, and making the lie that the rich pay less of a rate than than average people, and that's a complete lie. And that's where they threw in a couple of years ago. This goes all the way back even to the Obama era. Well, the rich pay less in capital gains than people pay in income tax. Well, that's a different tax. It's like saying you pay, different property tax rate than you do sales tax. It's a dumb and stupid and ridiculous argument. But then we brought up the perfect point of liberalism, where it's totally imagery over substance. Here's this. Here we go.
All right. You have, however, said you would favor an increase in the capital gains tax. As a matter of fact, you said on CNBC, and I quote, "I certainly would not go above what existed under Bill Clinton, which was 28%. It's now 15%. That's almost a doubling if you went to 28%. But actually, Bill Clinton in 1997 signed legislation that dropped the capital gains tax to 20%. Right. And George Bush has taken it down to 15%. And in each instance, when the rate dropped, revenues from the tax increased. The government took in more money. And in the 1980s, when the tax was increased to 28%, the revenues went down. So why raise it at all, especially given the fact that 100 million people in this country own stock and would be affected?
Well, Charlie, what I've said is that I would look at raising the capital gains tax for purposes of fairness. We saw an article today which showed that the top 50 hedge fund managers.
There he goes, right into it. Yep. He didn't want to address the question. He goes, that these people are really, really rich, was his argument back, but that wasn't the argument. The argument was, if you care about if you care about the poor, if you say that you wish to have more government money to do the things that you say will help the poor, because it's class warfare that they're playing in this whole thing.
Yep.
Well, then why would you put in a tax policy that would raise less revenue? And he said it for purposes of fairness.
Right.
So people look at it and go, okay, you got that guy. Yeah, but there's less money raised. Doesn't matter. Which means not about the substance of it.
Which means he didn't care at all about his core principle that he promoted, which was redistributive rights.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly.
Because you can't have redistributive rights. You cannot facilitate what you call redistributive rights unless you have the revenue. You have to increase the revenue. You're taking it from the rich and giving to the poor. But in this case, he was okay taking less from the rich, actually.
And that's just for all of you Democrats and independents and whoever who voted for Obama, who just went, oh my gosh, he's like a deity. Look at this guy, hope and change, and this is just so wonderful. He's the smartest man in the room, the smartest person in the room.
Yeah,
one of the most intelligent human beings. No, he's not.
No, he's not,
and he never was. And you got suckered.
Yep, he was a hardcore socialist, still is, and it's exactly where we are with Kamala Harris. And I don't know of anybody, in fact, on the left. You saw that Elizabeth Warren wants to go after CEOs for shrinkflation. The soda makers for shrinkflation.
We'll have that.
Why? Because they're making smaller bottles. There's actually another reason for making smaller bottles. They can't have their win. They can't, you're using too much plastic. Okay, we'll make smaller bottles. You can't make smaller bottles. And the smaller bottles per ounce actually cost more. I actually prefer sometimes the smaller bottle. I worked in high school. I worked at a grocery store, and the wife of the owner was the business manager of the grocery store, and she made sure her husband in the soda machine carried I think it was either 8 or 10 ounce glass Coca-Cola bottles, because she said they totally taste different. And I will tell you, like the mini cans of soda, they do. They just I don't know what it is about the compression or whatever. They just taste better. And they want to tell you basically they're charging more and it's shrinkflation. Well, again, going after big corporations, going after the rich, they're going at everything with the old playbook because their candidate is weak.
News, traffic, and weather. News Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
A small plane crashed in Kentucky on Friday. I'm Whitney Harris. Breaking now. Authorities in the Louisville area are investigating a small plane crash that happened near a runway at Bowman Field Friday. There were reportedly 2 people aboard the plane and 2 people inside the car. Here is a sound from broadcastifying at the time of the crash.
St. Matthews is responding to a small plane crash in front of Baptist East Hospital, 4000 Crest Seaway. There's 2 patients, one's possibly still trapped.
According to St. Matthews Police Chief Barry Wilkerson, at approximately 6:30 p.m., the small aircraft lost power, causing the pilot to lose control of the plane as they were on approach to land at Bowman Field, hitting a vehicle on Breckenridge Lane. Authorities say at least 3 people were taken to the hospital. Their injuries are unknown.
Now the latest forecast from the Train Heating and Cooling Weather Center on News Radio 700 WLW.
In the forecast, as we make our way to Saturday morning, we'll see clear skies, a 7 a.m. temperature of 52. Our Saturday, then, is going to be mostly sunny. My high is 79. At night, a few clouds around and a low of 60. Our Sunday, partly cloudy and windy. We'll see a slight chance of a shower. My high at 78. From your severe weather station, I'm 9 First Warning Chief Meteorologist Steve Raleigh. News Radio 700 WLW.
A staff member at St. Xavier High School has been fired as police investigate possible inappropriate behavior. The school fired the employee and told the employee not to have any contact with any students or staff. The name of the staff member has not yet been released. In sports, the Cincinnati Bengals on the road this weekend set to face off against the New York Giants Sunday. Kickoff at MetLife Stadium happens Sunday night at 8:20 p.m. I'm Whitney Harris. Get breaking news anytime. News Radio 700 WLW.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
This is Edward James Olmos. Did you know that today 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic? That means many of the future doctors, engineers, and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. Learn more at hsf.net. Brought to you by the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the Ad Council.
700 WLW.
Installation.
Earn personalized savings on commercial truck insurance with Smart Haul from Progressive. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. Not available in all states or situations.
Just hear those sleigh bells ringing, jing, jing, jingling. Okay, yeah, a little early for that, but not too early to get your engine ready for colder weather. Start treating now with Howe's Diesel Treat, so you're ready when those temps plummet. You see, using Diesel Treat at every fill-up will not only prevent gelling, but will add power and performance while keeping your fuel system clean and free of water. Learn more at houseproducts.com.
And shingles vaccine vouchers for all uninsured over-the-road truck drivers with a current Class A CDL. Vaccine vouchers can be used at any Walgreens or Kroger store. A copy of your Class A CDL is required with your voucher to receive your vaccine. Go to truckersfund.org under the Health and Wellness tab to get your voucher today. Again, that's truckersfund.org.
You're a threat to democracy if you don't download our app, Red Eye Radio.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Carly, and I'm Gary McNamara. You know, you and I talking about the CBS story about the CBS reporter in a little bit of trouble because he interviewed the author who took a pro-Hamas. Wrote a book basically, and he said, well, but you left out everything about Israel and what they're going through. And they had a civil discussion, and then apparently the staff went nuts. And I did read one headline. They need to make sure that DEI is involved, you know, in this now, because I'm not really sure what the complaint was about, to be honest with you. But they said it didn't fulfill CBS's journalistic standards, which made me laugh out loud. Yeah. But I wanted to play this here with yesterday being the anniversary of October 7th. This is Barry Weiss from the Free Press on with Chris Cuomo yesterday, making some really good points. Here we go.
There's two catastrophes that we mark on this day. The one is the catastrophe that murdered 1,200 people and took more than 250 captive. That's the one catastrophe. And the war that Hamas began on this day when it massacred innocent people. The second catastrophe is the failure by the West, or at least by many in the West, of a critical moral test. Do you stand with that mother whose picture you showed in the beginning of this episode, in the beginning of this show? Young mother Shiri Bibas with her 9-month-old baby and her 4-year-old redheads clinging to them? Or do you side with the barbarian who dragged them into the tunnels under Gaza? The fact that we even have to have that discussion is a sign of how far the rot in this country has traveled. And it's a sign of the stakes of this war that we're in for the West, and how crucial it is that we summon all of our courage and all of our conviction to fight it.
Now, just so you know, Barry Weiss was part of the, in case you don't know who she is, maybe some of our listeners don't. She runs a place called the Free Press. She's a former New York Times reporter, former liberal. Who actually said maybe Donald Trump is right, but she is rejected. She was part of the Twitter files. because of all that, and because of the censorship, and because of the insane, she probably would say not liberal bias, because she's probably still has a lot of liberal opinions, maybe traditional liberal opinions, but she views what's going on in liberalism today as just pure insanity. And so what she did was she formed the Free Press and said, we're going to do articles, we're going to do journalism. That's what we're going to do here. But she has been very, very outspoken about what's going on in Israel. You know something, Eric? A couple of things happened yesterday. I was watching CNN, and they were talking about the fact that the extremely well-educated are the ones that are actually, at a greatest level ever going to vote Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what's happened in the working class. And at the same time that I saw that yesterday, I'd YouTube on, as I tell everybody, the best money I ever spent was whatever it is, at $12, $13 a month, not to get commercials on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
And so it was just in random shuffle. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, a documentary came up. And I watched like 3 of these documentaries as I was doing work around the house. And it was about women guards during Nazi Germany's at the concentration camp.
Mm.
And I mean, just, brutal, brutal. And it shows you that, these women could behave in a brutal, sadistic, murderous way, just like any man could.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, couple of the, it shakes you up a little bit, because they talk about the life, these women guards and how they were, when they were young, and how they got into, all of this, and eventually became sadistic, murderous guards at concentration camps. And I started thinking, because, that along with the Soviet Union and Nazism and everything else, that when you think about it, it's fascinating what's happening in this country right now. It is really, I think, more unique than it is commonplace, because what you have now, and you look at whether it was Nazi Germany, whether it's communism, which was always looking to go after the worker, go after the worker and use racism in order to do it. And when you look at, the Nazis, you look at, the Jews. When you look at communism, you look at, okay, we're here to protect the workers. This is about the workers, the workers, the workers, the workers. And so all of the totalitarian behavior by the communist leaders, wherever you find it, and the brutality was to keep the workers, actually not to give the workers liberation, but to, in essence, enslave the workers. Today, when you look at it, when you look at the racism that exists today, it's the elite. And they're not you. They may have attempted, maybe they thought that the racism that they practice with identity politics, maybe it worked in the beginning for them. You're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim. Mm-hmm. Problem is, it came all the way around, and you might have been a victim yesterday, you're an oppressor today. But it's really interesting, and I was thinking about this yesterday, I went, wow, this is really, this isn't talked about enough, how what we see going on today. And when you talk about, the nationalism which justified the racism, well, the nationalism today that you see that the left attempts to project out to Nazi Germany doesn't have the same features at all, because it's not using racism. It's simply saying, it's talking about citizens of the United States. It's about taking care of the citizens of the United States before you attempt to take care of the entire world, because it's not possible for you to do it. It's about obeying the laws that we have to allow everybody there. I don't know anyone that is saying that if you're not in a terrorist country, because we dealt with this during the Trump administration. And, it said, okay, you remember the Obama administration came in and said, okay, we're not going to allow these people temporarily not in this because of the terrorism risk. That was terrorism. That's Islamic radicalism is what that is. Wasn't based on race or anything. Mm-hmm. But basically, wherever you are in the world, you've been able to come in, and the Republicans have no problem with legal immigration doing that.
Right.
So what you've got coming from the left is, if you're not for illegal immigration, you're a racist and you're practicing the same kind of nationalism that that was happening in Nazi Germany, which of course is ridiculous. But the thing that you see now as the working class moves towards the Republicans in greater numbers than ever seen before, it's not about racism. It's not about when you think, it's not about the misogyny of the radical transgender movement. The attempt by the left to promote victimhood to get the working class has completely backfired on them.
Yeah,
it's completely different than what happened in Nazi Germany. And so all of the racism, the misogyny, the totalitarian thought, you saw it just in the last couple of days. Hillary Clinton and John Kerry coming out again saying the First Amendment wants to go, needs to go. The people that wish to take away the rights of the people are all in the, should I say, the intelligentsia. Let's start using those terms. And it's the wealthy, it's the very wealthy, and it's the highly going to school people. I don't want
college boys.
I want. Oh God. It was on.
Red West.
I went by it the other day and it was on, and he got Red West. It was Saturday afternoon. I turned it on and he got promoted to be an officer, and he tore apart everything because he didn't want to ever be a college boy, and he didn't want to be an officer. And it was great. I was thinking of you the whole time. College boys with the cigar in his mouth. That's from Black Sheep Squadron from the 70s. Robert Conrad in that, and but when you but it's the rich and those that have gone to, and the further higher up you go in education, the more brainwashed you have.
Right.
All of the stuff that we hated that contributed to communism and Nazism is not embraced by the workers of this country. It's embraced by the highly, we went to school longer than you did people. I can't say educated because they aren't.
Right. Yeah.
Because they haven't learned a damn thing about history.
Right.
And the rich. And when I compared the CNN story yesterday about, the highly educated, that's what they were saying. The highly educated are voting for Kamala Harris. Well, that's baloney. They're not educated at all.
No, they're not.
But then I just thought about it. I go, wow, it's sort of the reverse happening. They got nobody to convince but themselves.
Right.
They used to, you would have it, in the people in charge, the highly educated would use those things in order to get the worker to support them by using, as we say, envy and jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working.
No.
It's not working in the United States. Sort of the opposite is happening. It's like they're sitting in their own little bubble, continuing to be more racist, more, the Jewish hatred. The Jewish hatred is not shared by the working class of this country.
No.
Which was the goal of Nazi Germany.
Right.
Let's use them as the scapegoat. It's not working. The only people using them as a scapegoat
are the elitists. And, John Kerry comes complete with a Thurston Howell the third dialect. Well, I shouldn't have to lobby. Why am I having to fly a commercial? Ew. Why would I do that? Ew. But this is it. And it also tells you it's very clear this is a very evil intent. When you have them promoting things the way that they are, they're proud, by the way, these radicals, of their anti-Semitism.
Oh,
they are proud of it. They, John Kerry and Hillary and all of them that are promoting, now openly promoting doing away with the First Amendment. That used to be one of those things that, you guys and your slippery slope. There's no slope. It's that right there. It's the very fact that they're saying, and this is exactly what John Kerry was saying, that the First Amendment blocks them from getting their agenda done.
Yep.
He used that word.
And
it gets in our way is what he's saying.
And has one major or minor Democrat come out and said, stop talking like this.
We absolutely can't be the party of wanting to do away with free speech, but they can't deny that they already are.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Right. Not one Democrat has come out against it. Not one.
I'm really curious to see if Trump wins, what happens, how many more Democrats decide they're going to leave the party. It's usually only a handful anyway, and it hasn't been that many. But there have been more prominent Democrats like Barry Weiss, Michael Rappaport. These are people who were known for their liberalism. I mean, Michael Rappaport's an actor, really great in Copland. But he was known as a radical liberal. And I'm wondering how many more and I would consider those to be more of the rank and file, closer to the rank and file, but certainly with great influence. How many are looking at this saying, I can't belong, I can't identify, I can't be associated with this group anymore because of the evil that goes on. Promoting your support for Hamas and Hezbollah after October 7th lies you squarely with the terrorists in a very evil category. And there's no two ways around it. You don't get to pick and choose and fence walk this thing. You belong in the evil category, and that is forever. It's eternal.
Coming up, latest on Hurricane Milton, the 1 a.m. Central update is in. We'll have the latest on that. 866-90-RED-EYE.
Lines open for your calls. 866-90-RED-EYE on Red Eye Radio.
Shell Rotella with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
Eric and Gary for the best-selling Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. It uses proven Oxy technology that quickly destroys viruses, odors, and more. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you know it works. Any smells vanish in seconds. Odors from litter boxes, trash cans, cigarette smoke, and more are no match.
And Eric, I love the technology. The Thunderstorm sends out O3 molecules which destroy odors everywhere, even behind furniture. Nothing can hide from the Thunderstorm. There are no filters to buy. You save a lot of money that way.
Right now, you can save even more money. Save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. You get 3 units for under $200. Put one in your basement, bedroom, family room, anywhere in the house for fresh, clean air. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code REDEYE3 to save $200. EdenPureDeals.com, discount code REDEYE3. Denny's has a special appreciation for America's truck drivers. You keep the goods moving and the country running. That's why Denny's is always ready with made-to-order meals. Like the Lumberjack Slam, all your breakfast favorites in one truck-sized plate for an affordable price. Enjoy it with a cup of always fresh coffee that's as endless as the road ahead. Dine in or curbside pickup. Get your favorite diner meal and be back on the road in no time. At Denny's, it's diner time. Hours of participating restaurants may vary, subject to availability.
Progressive Commercial knows truckers can expect the unexpected when driving, but a little heads up like this would still be nice.
Hey there, good buddy. This is the pothole you're about to hit and blow a tire on. Afterwards, you'll say, boy, that came out of nowhere, which is funny considering I've been here the whole time. Because I'm a pothole. Over.
Be ready for the unexpected with heavy truck roadside assistance available 24/7 year-round. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to terms and limits. Not available in all states.
There are few nonprofits in the trucking industry, and even fewer that tangibly make a difference in the lives of professional drivers. Since 2008, nearly 4,000 over-the-road semi-truck drivers have turned to the St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund when a medical issue took them off the road. St. Christopher steps in by paying necessity household expenses such as mortgage or rent. utilities, insurance, and vehicle payments. Drivers want to get back on the road as quickly as possible, and your support helps make that happen. You can learn more about the SEF or make a donation at truckersfund.org. Support our highway heroes by donating today, or consider including the SCF in your estate planning. Again, you can learn more at truckersfund.org. That's truckersfund.org. Truckersfund.org.
It's a showdown in the Sunshine State. UC's 3-2 Bearcats take their game to Florida to vanquish UCF's Knights.
Oh my goodness, what a hit!
It's big time Big 12 action.
2, 5, out!
Catch the call live from Orlando.
65-yard touchdown!
Coverage starts today at 2:30 on 700 WLW and 700 WLW's live stream on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is it. iHeartRadio wants you to see Oasis Live 25 in the city of your choice. We'll handle everything, including a special VIP experience. Just open the free iHeart app and listen to Smells Like the 90s to enter. Tickets to Oasis Live 25 at livenation.com.
iHeartRadio. Live from the 700 WLW studios. Driven by Mike Castrucci Jeep in Fairfax. Now recognized as the largest volume Jeep dealer in Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. Mike Castrucci Jeep is the #1 Jeep dealer in the tri-state. That's Mike Castrucci Jeep in Fairfax.
I expected it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military. I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was overwhelmed.
I couldn't sleep.
I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
I was too proud. And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too, right?
I started to open up.
And it made a huge difference.
So I reached out and I saw that I wasn't alone.
Because before I was able to take on my next mission, I had to take on just taking care of myself.
To find purpose.
Go to maketheconnection.net to learn how other veterans have overcome the challenges of transitioning out of the military.
You're listening to 700 WLW, also available on 94.5 FM W233BG Cincinnati.
700 WLW.
It's Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. The 1 a.m. Central National Hurricane Center report is out here. Their latest forecast, and right now, and current conditions right now. Milton is at maximum sustained wind at 155 miles per hour. I think Milton reached 185 was the top yesterday, right?
Yeah,
Wow,
and losing a little bit of that, but also that movement compared to Helene. Milton is moving at 9 miles per hour, and Helene was moving very quickly at 23, 25 miles an hour, remember. So Milton gaining strength in a big, big way from that warm Gulf waters.
Top of the hour news is brought to you by House Products. Visit houseproducts.com.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.
Progressive Commercial Insurance protects truck owners with specialized coverages for heavy trucks. Get a quote in as little as 5 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
If you drive a big rig, you know that more time on the road means more money in your pocket. Shell Rotella, with advanced synthetic technology, is designed to help keep your rig running and save you money in the long run. Trade up to Shell Rotella, and you'll get superior protection against engine wear. That means less time in the shop and more time on the road. It also means you'll get more chances to see North America's finest roadside attraction, cows, cornfields, cows in cornfields. It's lovely this time of year. Shell Rotella's advanced synthetic technology also offers extended drain intervals, helping your rig go farther between oil changes. So you'll make less pit stops. Well, unless you need to restock on snacks, we really can't help you with that. But if you're looking to help your big rig engine live longer, look no further. Superior protection, less maintenance. That's what you can expect from the #1 heavy-duty engine oil in North America. Shell Rotella for the long haul. Explore the full lineup of Shell Rotella products at rotella.com/long-haul.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. If you've logged as many highway miles as me, you've seen billboards claiming the world's best something or other, like the world's best peach pie, chicken gravy pancakes, or the world's best or least worst truck stop bathroom. Well, believe me when I say the world's best night stay is at a